You can super chat by paying on YouTube to get your comments jumped higher in the pack, and we'll read them.
How about that?
This John Burns, again, drops some change on us. He pays money. His comments go to the top of the order. We are the only fans of sports talk. You can pay to have your comments read, and I don't feel dirty at all. Talking right here on this G-string, right here.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, good morning, everybody. And if you don't know what OnlyFans is, that's a good thing. Welcome to the program. Hi, Moose.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Ready to roll?
Oh, yeah.
I think today, as I say, a good afternoon to our friends on the eastern part of the continent, and good morning to those out here in the west like us. We have a very nice blend of national and local today. I had to scribble this down. I had Gino DiPaolo scribbled in to join us from the Okotoks Oilers, and then he couldn't join us. I guess they're on the road, or he's on the road today. We never quite sorted that out. So Jim Lang will be joining us. Our good and sturdy friend Jim Lang from York Radio, Sportsnet great, Canada's foremost NFL expert, and that's an hour two. And Ken Reid, you know him, you love him, Sportsnet anchor. A lot of Sportsnet love going on here today on the program. Plus, a lot of local talk, too. And forgive us if you don't mind, but we are a hockey country. Our American viewers are hockey fans. So, Jordan, please hit the Quick Six show topic horn if you don't mind. Well, the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, last I saw, has not officially announced their season's been canceled. But last night I got 2 texts from insiders in the league saying that the return to play bubble has been not approved, if you will, by the Saskatchewan government, and therefore the season's over. Again, I haven't seen an announcement. I've been hitting banging on their Twitter all morning and their website, waiting to see. Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. Every province in this country's got Junior A, and Junior A massive in America too. And they're playing in most of those places except right here in the rectangle. So Luke Spatafora is a longtime SJ veteran, and he went to Twitter, and I'm just going to read it. I said to Darren this morning, should we read it? He tagged at Sask Government in this tweet, and I think he speaks for a lot of junior hockey players today. It says, wow, what a journey it was. Thanks, junior hockey, for the best 3 years of my life. Pretty empty feeling knowing that my 20-year-old season just got taken away from me. Pretty sad that every other league in Canada got an answer months ago except for our league. It took till the end of March to tell us we're done. Pretty sad that the WHL got approval in the same province to play, but we didn't. No chance for 20s to go to another league or anything. We just got everything we worked for our last few years taken away from us like it's nothing. We were waiting and waiting for months. Guys had to say no to job opportunities. Guys' mental health was seriously affected with just waiting. We had coaches doing everything they could to get a startup, but we got nothing. We got treated like trash from the government and got everything taken away from us in a blink of an eye. I'm super thankful I got to experience junior hockey and can't thank Humboldt, Melville, and everyone else involved for making these past memories I'll have forever. From Luke Spatafora. I got a lump in my throat reading that, and I need help from the viewers. This is a morning where, more than ever, we pride ourselves on, Paul calls it interactive TV, and he's right. Interactive with the viewers. But I need help here, Darren. It's part of my cat country commentary this morning. I'm not calling anybody fibbers, but I think we need some answers here. That's all. In that I saw the premier a couple of weeks ago on the news saying, we're close. We're so close. Just hang tight. And these restrictions will be lifted. We're so close. Can you just do it for a little while longer? And then this gets yanked away, and I see the variants are up, and there's threats of a total lockdown across this city or province. We know what's going on in other areas. You got the CFL owners and leaders saying we're very close and we've never been more optimistic than we are right now that we're going to play. I had a CFL broadcaster last night and say, our governor, virtually certain we're going to play. And I'm thinking, what I see on the news and what I'm hearing is exactly the opposite. We're not close. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. And for him to say, how could the WHL play but not us? That's a 20-year-old kid that I think doesn't really understand business, and that's where I'll defer to you. And even Clark said it, producer Clark, back in the saddle today, that it comes down to money. And this particular Junior A league doesn't have it, but what about the other provinces? You can see the frustration here. And that kid, Luke Spatafora, speaks for a lot of athletes today. I'm confused.
I know. It's a tough spot to be in because you want to be able to play. But these hubs and these bubbles are tremendously expensive. And hard to pull off. Like, you look at what's happening in Red Deer with the Red Deer Rebels staying in the arena. Like, that's not cheap.
10,000 kids, $10,000 a head, I'm told.
Yeah, it's not cheap. And when I think about junior A hockey franchises, like if you're pulling in $100K on your season 50-50 or your truck lotto, and you can bring in six figures, like that's a big deal for your club. That's not enough to pull off a bubble. It's not enough because it's very expensive. And when you're dealing with community-owned teams, it's even tougher. And at the end of the day, just couldn't pull it off. So it's not that, again, I want to be cautious here, because it's not that the government said you can't play. It's that we can't, what we want to allow you to play in is going to be too expensive for you. They don't bite, right? We're not willing, what you can afford, we're not willing to take that risk of travel.
So in the end, it's all about money. And that's why I'm bringing in, and I thank you, Colin in Ottawa, who says Ontario Hockey League is also not playing, just saying it's not just the SJHL. And I never said it was. I said I'm just speaking about what this kid's saying in this province, and every province is different in a lot of ways. So I wanted to read his message. That's the angst of what the players are going through. And I understand people, we still get it. At least they didn't die. At least they're not transmitting. We're a sports show. I'm a sports guy, and I'm sticking up for the sports teams. And that's all. And if the government says that's the way it is, then I guess that's fine. Because I rule that way in a lot of ways in my house. You know what I mean? But why? Because that's the way it is, because I said so. I would take that, I guess, if they stood up and said, because we said so, that's why. I feel like they're not even saying that. And then the question I get so much in the sports community is, how are these teams doing it? How are they staying afloat? And that's not just the teams that aren't playing in Ontario and the SAS Junior A League. How are the Moose Jaws and the Swift Currents and the PAs that are community-owned that, well, Moose Jaws in good financial shape. I think Swift Current's not. How are they doing it? I don't have the answers. So I'm tired of saying, I don't know. Can somebody answer the questions? I'm not calling anybody a liar. Premier said we're close, hang tight, we're almost at the end of this. And then this, it's exact opposites. I'm just saying, what changed? That's all I'm asking today. And I haven't really got any answers. Other than the guys in Ottawa and Ontario saying, we're the same.
Transparency goes a long way for that, and openness and honesty. We haven't seen a lot of that in terms of, look, they're not playing and here's why, right? Like if they came out and said, look, we're not playing and this is the reasons. It was going to cost, $4 million and this, and then you start realizing, oh, okay, I understand. These community-owned teams can't afford the bill. Okay, I understand. This isn't, the National Hockey League. So we can at least respect that.
Yeah.
But when we don't know, it's easy to say the league doesn't want to play, or the government doesn't want us to play, or they don't want us to play, and you guys are taking this away from me. And if you want that negativity taken away from you, well, give us the reasons so that we can understand. And if we understand, then at least we can be somewhat sympathetic. But right now we can't.
I know, and that's why I'm just very confused today. And there's all these questions, and people are looking at me, and I'm like, I don't have the answers. I'm sorry why this league can play and yours can't, and this, and why the government said this, but this is what's happening. It's not my responsibility to answer those questions. I'm just saying, whose is it? I'm going to move on. Very long point there, but that's something I wanted to get off my chest here in the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the NHL, UFC, and Regina Pats hockey. Monday NHL Leftovers. I got a few. The Flames lost in Ottawa last night 2-1, and I didn't watch much of the game. It was a 2-1 game. It was the Flames' third game in 4 nights. So there might be a fatigue factor there. I'm not sure. But what I know is they lost, and they might miss the playoffs. And they're 4-3 under Daryl Sutter. So my one leftover is there's bigger problems with the Flames, clearly, than the head coach. And they're raging in Calgary today. I have no more to say than that. But it's going to take more than just replacing the coach to fix what's the problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
2, the Jets blanked the Vancouver Canucks 4-0. I saw some of that. That was, I thought, one of the Jets' best games of the year. And the Fire Paul Maurice talk has piped down considerably today. That's all it takes. Throw them a bone.
That's it.
A win, and they're good. What's with the Jets jacket you're wearing today? I've never seen you wear that.
Because they won.
No, I know, but where'd you get it?
Oh, I picked this up in the store.
Winners?
Absolutely.
Very
I was
nice.
flipping through and I'm like, it was such a smoking deal that I couldn't not. And it's great. I've been using it to run in a little bit and for coaching hockey. And I thought, you know what? They won last night. It's a perfect occasion to bust it out for the first time on the show.
I love it. It looks very good.
It does, doesn't it?
Very quickly, are you watching the Vegas Golden Knight Colorado Avalanche race for the top of the Honda West Division? I'm just saying, if you haven't, tune in because it's very exciting. I was on the Sens Hour podcast yesterday at Senators, and they asked if I thought Mark Stone should be up for the Selke Award. I said he should be up for something. The captain of the Vegas Golden Knights. He scored another game winner last night. I think it's his fifth of the year. That already ties him for a franchise record. I'm saying, why not Mark Stone for the Hart Trophy? We can talk about MVP. Mm-hmm. This guy's been everything for the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team. And my last point is Dougie Hamilton. Where did this come from? He has set a Carolina Hurricanes / Hartford Whalers record with a 12-game point streak, eclipsing Mark Howe. Just wanted to point that out. So there's a lot of exciting things going on.
That's cool.
In the National Hockey League. To the big board, regarding my comments about the SJHL season being canceled, the OHL's not even playing. Jeff Lyon, watching on Facebook, says, it sucks for the 20s. I wonder how much more effort would have been put into a return to play if the decision makers had kids playing in the league. My kid is thankful he has a place to play next year. However, not all 20s have that. So what was the comment from Mark in Melford? He had a very good comment about lack of consistency. I'm sorry. I knew that people would have a lot of hot opinions on this, right? It's affecting a lot of people. And can I say this to all those teams? Get some mental health support for your players and your staff and your coaches, because don't wait for them to come to you. They need it. Reach out to them. We see the Regina Thunder junior football program has started about 6 weeks ago, mental health check-ins with their players. It's like 80 to 85 players. That is a lot of work and necessary because minds are going bad places. Here it is, Mark from Melfort, Saskatchewan, where they do the Melfort Shuffle. He says, before the Dub Hub in Regina got going, there was constant press releases from the WHL on the progress. Ask the SJHL, it's just crickets. The government has the final say, but why no comment from the SJ? I'm just reading that. Don't point the finger at the SJHL. Man, I mean, they've been through the Humboldt situation, in which, quite frankly, in degrees of tragedy, this isn't anywhere near that. But who's prepared for this? What do you do if you're the SJHL? They didn't make an announcement because for their own reasons, but the players are out saying things. The fans are saying things. Shoot! Richie Pilon quoted today in discoverweyburn.com, probably the best article yet we've seen on why this was shut down. But I don't point a finger at the SJHL. And I love you, Mark, but everybody's hurting right now. Now's not the time for that. And I'm, by the way, not pointing a finger at anybody. I just want some answers because I'm confused today. Point 3 was Dub Hub stuff. Hey, Swift Current Broncos won last night. I'd ring the bell, but I've been told not to.
Good, I was going to...
There's a live show going on in the Studio A, and they said, don't ring the damn bell. It's too loud over here. So the Swift Current Broncos won, and they snapped the 23-game losing streak that goes back to last season, which rolls me over into point 4. If you noticed, the Houston Rockets won and the Swift Current Broncos won. So anybody who voted that the Rockets wouldn't win first in our poll yesterday, you suck. I'm joking. But listen, they're watching the RP show on Game Plus TV in Houston, Texas. Did you see the tweets coming in today from the Rockets fans?
Yeah.
They're like, Rod, sorry that the Raptors had to lose, but man, we've been waiting 48 days for a win. Which I kind of got a kick out of. That was like two hobos fighting over a sandwich last night in Houston. The Rockets and the Raptors. And the great game, by the way. Did you see the 360 the one guy did on the way to the dunk? Wow. So again, Houston Rockets snapped the 20-game slide. Swift Current Broncos snapped the 23-game slide. Good for them. And here's who kept losing. The Buffalo Sabres and the Toronto Raptors. So it's 14 in a row for the Sabres now. And what's 9 for the Raps? Point 5, March Madness. I'll just move on. other than to say, are we still alive? Like, I don't know how these brackets work. We're done, right?
No.
We're still alive?
We're still alive.
All right.
You got Gonzaga to win the whole thing.
Yes.
And if you look at the bracket, this is only I'll say, it says maximum total. So if everything you've predicted from here on out continues to go well, this is the maximum points you have.
Yep.
So while I'm way down in the standings, my max points is still pretty high because I'm the only guy who's got Baylor to win. So if Baylor wins, I might still be in the running. But right now, not looking good.
Glenn Erickson writes in on Twitter. He says, tough times in Cowtown as the Flames have been so inconsistent. Do they get a pass because this is such a challenging and unique season, or is the fat lady singing? That is my guess. He tweeted a photo that I can't see it. I'm just guessing that's what it is. That's something that they're sorting out in Calgary today. I don't know the answer for that. Nobody gets a pass. Sorry. Ask Doc Rivers. Ask Todd Reardon. Ask any coach that's been fired in the bubble scenario. Pandemics, you don't get a pass. You're not getting a pass, Calgary. Not from me. I don't think you are from your own fans. And my last point, I waited almost too long to mention it, but it's CFL, XFL talk. Can I just say this? And maybe we'll bring it around with Jim Lang next hour. But I was on the Outsiders podcast yesterday with Bryn Griffiths, Mighty Mouth, and Robin Brownlee. And they just brought up a couple scenarios that I hadn't heard. We're just throwing our ideas on the table. That's what's great about these podcasts. And Bryn Griffiths said, I heard that at least one, he's the host of the show, at least one CFL team wanted to partner with the XFL. At least one. This is where the notion came from. And nobody else, the other teams did not want to. And I'm like, very interesting. I hadn't heard that.
Very.
And there were more things. But at some point, if they go to a vote, are we merging with the XFL? Does that even matter when we believe that they voted 6-3 to play last year and still didn't play? What's the point of having a vote?
I know.
That's right. So they got to figure it out fast. Because the more they continue to not be on the same page, the clock's ticking, and disastrous potential outcome here for the Canadian Football League. So they got to, I think, figure it out soon. But there were more tidbits that came out of that podcast with Bryn, but that's the big one. At least one current CFL team wants to merge now. And my God, what I love. Oh, and the other, to know who it was. But the other thing was, he also heard there's a chance that the XFL only wants Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, and they don't want the other 6 teams that are smaller market. And I'm like,
no go.
No, it's all or nothing. Actually, we can talk to Kenny Reed about that. He would have some opinions on a CFL-XFL merger and a variety of other things. So he's coming up next. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody, through the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. And we'll be right back after this break. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk. For Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
You're watching Rod Pedersen on demand. For more of the Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.